Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I decided let's do a video of 10 things that can save you money on your cruise in 2023. Tip number 1 is if you're a soda drinker or a wine drinker, you're able to bring a certain amount of soda or wine on your ship. Most cruise lines allow 1 to 2 bottles in your cabin, depending on how many people are in your cabin, and they also allow you to carry a case of pop onto the ship with you as well. And not only that, snacks. If you think you're going to have some chocolate bars or you want a bag of chips or some Pringles, it's much cheaper to buy them at the grocery store, put them in a little bag, and carry them on the cruise ship with you. Because I paid $4 for a little tiny chocolate bar, I paid $8 for a tube of Pringles on cruise ships, and $5 a can for a pop, which cost me $8 for a case of 12 at the grocery store. So yeah, carry it on board. Number 2, when you're looking to book your cabin, if seasickness is not an issue or you're on a large ship, look at booking the aft of the ship or forward of the ship. There's normally forward, midship, mid-aft, and aft. The aft and forward are normally cheaper than they would be closer to the middle of the ship. It can save you sometimes a couple $100 per person, depending on where you are on the ship and how long your cruise is. So yeah, an easy save in money if you just book further back or further forward on your ship. And speaking of cabins, if you're on a cruise ship like Princess or NCL and they have a bidding process out there where you can bid on an upgrade to the cabin, well, you're better odds of booking a cheaper price cabin as long as you're okay with that cabin anyway. But if you're thinking on splurging and maybe going for a suite for a change, one way to upgrade to a suite is to do the bidding process, and who knows, I've actually saved about $5,000–6,000 on a cruise and upgraded to a really nice suite from a balcony cabin. It's incredible sometimes. However, the more people that do it, the more you have to bid to try and get up there. But in overall pricing, quite often, even if you bid high on the cabin that you're looking for, it still comes in cheaper than originally booking it at the price they were offering at the beginning of the cruise. Not always, but quite often. So yeah, if you're just looking to maybe go for a bid upgrade from maybe an inside to a balcony to a mini suite, etc. Sometimes, quite often, to just cut that money in half, make that bid, and who knows, you might get that cabin upgrade for thousands of dollars cheaper. Number 4 is drink packages. Now, unless you drink a lot, or you've got a particularly really good deal on the drink package. For instance, one of my group cruises, we booked with a drink package, and once you added the Wi-Fi that came with it and the gratuities and everything, it ended up costing only about $20-some a day for the drink package. Well, that's worth it. But if you're paying $100 a day for a drink package and you're going to have 5 drinks a day, well, that means your drinks are $20? I don't think so. Very rarely will you spend over $8 to $10 on a drink, maybe $12 because prices have been rising. But I mean, if you drink a lot, maybe it's worth it. But sometimes you can just save a lot of money by not having the drink package and just buying the drinks as you go. Now this one, I can be guilty of this one as well. And the buffet is open sometimes till 10 o'clock at night. Pretty late. Other venues are open, like the hot dog stand, the hamburger joint, the pizza joints. Instead of ordering room service to your room at the end of the night, take the walk down and get the free food in the free venues. Because most cruise lines now have started charging you either individual by plate that you're ordering or a service fee to deliver it to your room. And how many times when they deliver it to your room do you feel like tipping as well? So it just adds up the cost and adds up the cost, when quite often a few feet away is the pizza, the hot dog, the noodle bar, etc. The buffet is still open, and it would save you an awful lot of money, but then again, you have to get up and take that walk and bring it back to your room. But yeah, room service can be very costly these days on some cruises. Number 6, a warning about shore excursions. Not all shore excursions are worth the money. For instance, I've seen shore excursions for $49.95 per person. And it's called an exclusive beach holiday. Well, people have gone on it. They drove maybe 10 minutes to the beach and they were unloaded at this very busy beach area that literally had about 70 feet cordoned off with stakes with some chairs in there, and meanwhile everybody else was all around that area, including in front of you in the water. And if you would have walked out and took a taxi, it probably would have cost you about $10 for both of you to get there. And meanwhile, you paid $100 to take a bus and get to a beach that was 10 minutes away. Look where that beach is, look it up on Google, find the map and just say, hey, maybe it's not worth taking an excursion to sit on a beach. You know, if food is included and a bunch of stuff like that, maybe. But if it's just a beach excursion, quite often you'll save a lot of money just doing it on your own. One of the things I love doing on cruise ships is I love trying the chef's table. Now, some chef's tables can be really, really pricey. However, a lot of cruise lines have now opted in and had a cheaper option. And that's called a wine pairing dinner, where it's basically a 4-course meal paired with wines, much like the chef's table, but it's not usually involved with like a kitchen tour, and you're not going to get the maitre d' signing the menu and the chef signing the menu and get a cookbook and things like that. Those little things, and if those don't interest you, then maybe that wine pairing can often save you $50 a person. And it's still a really top-notch kind of chef's table experience. Number 8 is Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. I live on Wi-Fi on a cruise because I have to work. But if you don't have to work and you really don't need anything to get in touch with people, avoid the Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi is one of the most expensive things you can actually buy on a cruise ship, sometimes costing up to $300 for one device for one person. That's a lot of money. Now imagine if you both wanted Wi-Fi. Now you're $500-600. That's sometimes half the cost of your cruise, if not more. So no, unless you need Wi-Fi, I would just stick around and wait till you're in port and use your Wi-Fi at like every bar and restaurant and shop has Wi-Fi at most ports. So you can save a ton of money if you don't need Wi-Fi. Another way to save some money is, we all like the biggest and the brightest and the best. I should know I'm booked on 3 brand new cruise ships coming out the end of this year. It's going to be expensive, folks. It's a lot of money to get on those brand new ships. You want to save some money, look at the ships that have been around a little bit longer, a little bit older, maybe even smaller, but still have the same services and still have the same enjoyment. Now here's an example. We have the Wonder of the Seas out right now, and the prices on that ship are pretty high. Yet, if I look at the same cabin going to the same direction on, say, the Oasis or the Allure, which are the 2 older Oasis class ships, I can save a lot of money booking the exact same cruise on a different ship. It's just that it's not the newest and brightest and the one that everyone wants to be on. Look at the Icon of the Sea. It's going to be expensive, folks. It's going to be expensive. Now, just think how much cheaper the Oasis class ships will be when that ship launches. Keep all that in mind. Yeah, you don't have to go biggest and brightest. It's fun though, it is. But if you want to save money, look at the ones that have been around a little bit longer. And finally, tip number 10 is avoid those extra cost items. Lots of cruise lines will now say, oh, if you want to do this, you want to play the arcade simulator thing for an hour? Well, that's going to cost you $40. You want to go bowling each time you bowl, it's going to cost you some money. Oh, there's this show that we're offering only in this theater, but it's a $36 show, but we're going to serve you some shots while you're in there. But it's $36 a person. The extra cost items, those can rack up the cost on your cruise dramatically. You would be surprised how many upgrade things there are to do on a ship. Hey, you want to go play the Deal or No Deal game show? Chances of winning are pretty slim, but you're going to spend $40, $50 on a card, on 3 cards. And they sometimes have that 2 or 3 times on the sailing. How about bingo? If you go to bingo every day, you're probably spending $20 to $30, $40 every day on bingo. Now, if that's your enjoyment, that's great. But if this is like you think it's just part of the cruise experience, just think about how much money you're actually spending on all these different activities and see if there's other activities that don't cost you as much, like the free shows in the theater, the comedy club, places like that. Yeah, maybe those things aren't quite what you want to spend your money on. Well, there you go. There's 10 tips. I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.